good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Joe, on the show this evening. Is there London and Bridgeman? Evening London, evening Bridge.
Evening Oxshare, evening Bridgeman, evening everyone. I hope you're all keeping well.
Can I say a huge good evening to you guys in the panel here? A massive good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Linda?
Yeah, very well, Ox. Near enough back to full fitness. Looking forward to the show and a big game tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Yes. Remember the days hoovering and washing, Bridgeman, and that was a woman's what? But changed days. Huh?
My wife's transferred all that over to me.
I changed days. I'm all for equality, right enough. I'm all for equality. Right, okay. How are you, Bridge?
I'm fine, thanks, pal. I'm fine, thanks. And I like the game and the draw. I don't like the Celtic game, but I never watched that. But the draw for the semi-final.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aye. Well, what's it all about, days? I'll get Linda's thoughts on Sunday, and then we'll talk about that. Yeah, Linda.
Excellent.
I know it's all right, mate. Yeah, give us your thoughts, Linda, on Sunday, and also the draw as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Oxen. Obviously, I was on before the European game last week, so really delighted that we've got the 3-0 lead. Lots of work to do, as we know, and then into Sunday. I don't know, I just felt a wee bit nervous. I think it's because it's away from home and just how some of these games have been going, but they played well. Probably should have had a few more goals. Would it be nice to get the third a bit earlier, I think. But yeah, a really good performance. Lots of people getting pitch time, a few people getting rested. So yeah, a job well done on Sunday and through to the semi-finals, Ox. Couldn't ask for any more.
Here. Aye. Right, Bridgeman, did you watch the draw?
I watched the draw, yeah. I watched the draw.
Right, we were on the show, weren't we? We were on the show just as it
I was. It's I can't say it. They came out first. And by the way, I was not surprised that they came out first.
The hottest ball always comes out first.
The hottest ball always comes out first, absolutely. And, and it's there against us. So that was the inevitability of it all. And it's going to be a smashing game, that is for sure. And obviously, what the Bridgeman's wanting is he wants his team to go out on Thursday and win. Or even just come back with it, as long as they don't get out of the tournament.
No, as long as we get through, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Listen, ultimately, Bridgeman's right, Linda. If we happen to have a 2-0 defeat, we wouldn't like it. It wouldn't be a good watch, but ultimately, if that was when the whistle went, we would take that, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's just all about getting through. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you don't want to tempt fate, but we're starting to hit just a wee bit of form walks, maybe at the right time. The last 4 games, we've been keeping the goals out as well, which has been a really good sign. And Bridge has obviously alluded to the draw there as well. The wee sneaky feeling it was going to be an old firm semi. But bring it on. There's some fantastic games to look forward to, isn't there? And the business end of the season, and these games are it's the games that you want to be involved in, isn't it?
Yeah. Aye. Bridgeman, I'm going to ask you something. You think back 4 years ago, we're at that semi-final. I think Murty was in charge. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Aye, we're all there. me, you, and Fox, and we did. I think it was the only time we've all been together. I never get fined. Right. True, Linda. It's true.
Is it true? Yeah.
Aye, it's true. Aye. Right. Okay. So we're sitting there, and we come out of that game, and we were distraught. And look where we are now.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. The difference is absolutely incredible. And I have to say this: a lot of Rangers fans don't, believe it or not, they don't give Mr. Gerrard a lot of credence for what he did for the club. I think he's done a wonderful job for our club, and I think it just thinks so. And this chat about Van Bronckhorst is top class at everything. Yeah, he really is. He's steadying his ship. He's pulling us through, changing the game as it goes along. Things that we never did even under Gerrard. It's just fantastic. I love watching my team. I love watching my team, as you know. But there's something different about them, and just as Linda says, it's great.
Absolutely, Bridge.
Well, I don't. What game were you last at then, Linda? Like Ibrox?
I haven't been to very many games just because of the way I've been feeling, but I'm not. I haven't been to very many of the European games either this year, but I went to quite a few league games, Bridge. But I'm looking forward to get back to, in some capacity in terms of games, that are coming up. I've been watching them on the television. But when you're
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say as well, Ox was talking about the time we were at Hampden and what, under...
what was it, 4-0? 4-0, let's be honest, it was 4-0, in 10 Bridge, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And they're thinking, where do we go for here? And Mr. Gerrard came in, turned his round, and we've moved on, Linda, and we're now competing with top sides in Europe. And if you think about it relatively quickly,
yeah, definitely. And when we think about the progress Niederkorn as well, I was just saying that you were talking about that semi-final, and if you think about the progress game, and I remember that and wondering, are we ever going to get back to any sort of a forum, and our reputation was in tatters, and look where we're at now, Ox. We don't want to, count our chickens, but we've put ourselves in a great position to get to the quarter-finals of a major European tournament. It's unbelievable, it really is.
We're not there yet.
No, absolutely not, Bridge.
No, but we're in
I understand. I'm only joking.
And obviously if we do get through, we'll go to the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. We've got a chance of winning that. We're in the quarter-finals of European competition. We're in the league. We're fighting for the league. It's going to be a roller coaster, Bridge, man. I don't know. Listen, mate, I'll say it now. I don't know how I couldn't take 15 or 14 Bridge mans, mate. I don't know if I could handle it, if I'm being honest.
Look, you would be the same as any other Rangers fan. You'll take the victory. It's the victory you want. Now, they might not be able to play that great because sometimes we end up painting ourselves into a corner and on the pitch and giving away possession and space to the opposition. And that's what kills us. And then we decide to move up the park and give a stupid ball away. The last 3 or 4 games in the European area, we've hardly done any of that. We've fought for every ball. Every ball that's come into our box, we've fought for it. No, we've not been perfect in any way, shape or form, but my goodness, we've fought for it. And that's magic to see. And that game, the last game at Ibrox, the 3-0 game, that was just astounding. Just utterly astounding. I've never seen anything like that at Ibrox. Never. The fight and the team was just wonderful to watch. Just wonderful. And by the way, that team were a good team. They were a good team. Rangers did very well there.
Yeah. We'll see, Bridge. Right, okay. But tomorrow night's for focus, Linda, yeah?
Yeah, we've got to just take one game at a time, and I know it's the old cliche, but that's what sort of I'm assuming the players will be trying to do, and the management team. Mm-hmm. But you can't help starting to look ahead. But yeah, the focus is tomorrow night, and as we said earlier, Ox, we've got a great chance to get through, and let's hope we can do it.
Yeah, and I get that, Linda, and we've got potentially, and it's potentially, but no naive, 16 games to play this season,
Yeah.
And obviously that roller coaster could change at any time because some of them are cup ties.
Yeah.
But we can get 2 of them out of the way this week and hopefully get through in one in the other, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. As we said, last season was a different season. It was quite unique in terms of everything. Us not being able to get into the stadium, COVID was still very much about, and the team did absolutely brilliant in Europe and the league. It didn't feel as much of a roller coaster because a lot of the league stuff was quite straightforward eventually. But this time we're right in the mix of things, and as you said, it's exciting. And hopefully, as we say, we can keep the form up that we've started to show over the last sort of 5 or 6 games.
When you think about it, guys, how can we say this? What we've done is this team has put us into a fabulous position. We've got a great position. We've got one game, as far as this next European game, one game to look forward to tomorrow. One game. That's all we need to think about. One game. Go out there and do it, Rangers. Because we've got it, we've lifted, we're playing at a level Rangers haven't played it, certainly for the last 15 years probably, just incredible stuff. This is just great to watch. Wonderful team. I love it. Man, sleep. Come on, Rangers.
Here. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do, Linda, if it's all right for you, just to curb his incitement and get some medication and some oxygen into him, right?
A cup of tea will do it, Bridge.
Oh, usually when we say medication and oxygen, we mean a cup of tea and a custard cream. That usually calms him down.
Yeah, sounds good.
He's under strict instructions, and I'm under strict instructions for Mrs. B. So I think if it's all right with you two, we're here for your gaffer. I was going to see Steven Gerrard there, Linda.
Oh, yeah, dancer.
Here for your gaffer, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Morning, Giovanni. First of all, if we just have a squad update in terms of injuries for this match, and then just your thoughts ahead of the game against Red Star, please.
We have only 2 players not available through injury, and that's Haji and Davies. The other ones are all training today, so we still have a training left before we travel. And of course, the players who aren't eligible to play in the Europa League. So we have quite a big squad to take with us against a strong opponent. We saw last week. They was a good game. Quite an even game. Of course, we won with 3-goal margin, which was for us a very good result to take with us for the game tomorrow. But we can expect an opponent who will do everything to overcome this 3-0 loss last week. For us, it starts all over again. We just go into the game preparing the team to get a good result, and that's all we're gonna do, and work hard to be in the next round after the game.
Question for Giovanni. Giovanni, a number of players walking on a suspension tightrope tomorrow night. Does that alter your thinking going into the game, or are you just asking players just to be extra careful out there?
No, I mean, it's obviously when you are playing so many games in Europe, like we did, you will always have players on one suspension away, yellow card. But that's for every team. But it won't affect our approach selecting the team. And I think also the players in the game don't have to play on a different way. We just hit there with the strongest 11 possible, and we will do everything to win this game and win this tie. That's the most important thing, and then we will see after the game who we have available for the next game.
Hi, Giovanni. A lot of people talk about the hostile atmosphere at Red Star Belgrade Stadium. Is that something the players are going to have to relish if they want to put in the performance they want to tomorrow night?
Well, we know we're gonna go to a place where the atmosphere can be very, very hostile, and but that's a thing we have to cope with. I mean, we have quite an experienced team, so. We've been in places before where it's very hostile, and but you have to deal with it. Make sure mentally you are prepared, tactically you're prepared, and also make sure you just concentrate on the game and play against the 11 other players. So, but it will be a nice atmosphere to play in, and we have to enjoy that as well.
Hi, Giovanni. You mentioned before the first leg that you tend to find out more about an opposition after playing them. What did the first leg tell you, and has it changed your approach into the second leg?
Well, you have, of course, as I said before, you have a view of a team you're playing against because you watch a lot of games, you watch the patterns they have, their strengths, their weaknesses, but eventually when you play them yourself, like we did last week, you have a much better view, not only myself, but also the players. You can also analyze that game really well and prepare the players again for tomorrow. So, but I think the outcome of the analysis is the same, that we are going to play against a very good opponent, and that will, that won't change.
Giovanni, you said that the game starts all over again, but what will your message be to the players going into this with a 3-0 lead from the first leg? And mentally, how do they approach that? Is it to win again? And if they were to go 1-0 down, how will the team get them to adapt and respond?
Well, I think you start over again. The game last week is played. Now we're going to play a new game, and I think we have to just approach the game to have the best result possible tomorrow, and don't go into the game already know that you have a 3-goal difference. So we have to bear from the first minute. Try to be solid. Try to be dangerous as well at the right moments in the game. So that doesn't affect us, and of course you will have moments in every game where you maybe go 1-0 up or 1-0 down. But just make sure we stick to our tactical game plan and make sure we do everything we can to get a positive result after the game.
Gio, Steve Clark, Scotland's coach, was very, very fulsome in his praise of Ryan Jack. Obviously delighted to get him back for the Scotland squad. It strikes me as being the type of player that makes the players around him play. Has it been frustrating not to have him available to you in the squad for such a long time?
Well, of course, it's always you want your players to be available for games. So the same for Ryan. We had to miss him a long time this season through injury. And you could see his performances and what he brings to the team, which is very positive for me. So to have him back in the squad the last weeks, it's for me it's good. It's also good for the team because we have a broad selection of players we can choose, and his performances are really well in the last week. So that's always also because he get picked again for Scotland. He will give his best for Scotland as well, and his character, his attitude, and his performances will also benefit Scotland. So I'm more than happy to have him back in the last weeks.
Hi Giovanni, getting through tomorrow night would add 2 more big games to an already important fixture list in April. How exciting and challenging a prospect would it be to have a month of games where really everything was on the line in all 3 competitions?
Well, our main objective tomorrow is to go through and to be in the next round in Europe. So that's very very important for all of us. And of course you're gonna add 2 more games in April, but that's what you want. You want to be involved in all competitions. At the end of the season, and we just add some games against a very quality-wise very strong opponent. So that's what you want when you are playing. That's what you want when you are a coach, and that's I think also what you want as a club and the fans to play many games at top level. So we just have to go out tomorrow and make sure we are in the next round.
Hi Gio, you mentioned earlier about the atmosphere and the kind of occasion of what the game's going to be like for the players. And there's a long walk from the players down the tunnel onto the pitch. There's going to be kind of real atmosphere inside the stadium. Can I actually bring the best out of the players? You're talking about dealing with it and coping with it, but is it something they should actually relish?
Well, it's of course it's a challenge for us because to go out to a strong opponent in the atmosphere we're going to face tomorrow and to get a good result, that's a really big challenge for us, and that's why we go there to have a positive result and to make sure to go to the next round. And of course, some grounds are more difficult to go than others, but I think this one is definitely one of them that we all gonna see a great atmosphere tomorrow.
Hi Gio, the same issue really, but when you go to a place like this, is there anything that you can do as a manager to tell the players how to cope with it or how to keep their nerve if it is getting hostile, or if Red Star score the first goal, for example?
Well, just make sure we are going into the game really well prepared, and then prepared. I mean, in so tactically wise, how we want to defend, how we want to attack, and make sure we are also mentally prepared to get over this challenge. But as I said before, we have quite a experienced side, a team who played many games in Europe in the last couple of years, and played also against strong opponents. So in that way we are I think well prepared. But as I said, it starts all over once the whistle goes. We have to be there, and tomorrow won't be any different.
Hi Ryan, these Europa League nights and Old Firm games always seem to bring out the best in you. What is it about that? And just to go back to the question April earlier on, what is it that a run that's so exciting, potentially coming up with league games, Europa League games? I know it's the Cup semi-finals coming up as well.
I think probably the level of opposition goes up, which tends to make the games a lot more open. Both sets of teams want to play football. Probably a lack of parking the bus, or tripling up, doubling up on players. Gives me more opportunity to do what I do. Each player in the team probably raises the level a little bit more, given the opposition in these games. Because it's a very exciting fixture.
Just John, please, just to finish.
Hi Ryan, the majority of this squad been together for 4 years now. Obviously you've done brilliant in Europe together, but where would you say that the confidence ranks in this group now when it comes to this stage of the competition? And is there a sense that you could make this a special season if you get through and you're competing in the league front?
I've mentioned before, after each year of participating in this competition, that we've always wanted to improve on the previous year. Which we have done so far, and that's no different for this year. We want to go as far as we can in this competition. We try to have as much confidence going into every game. That'll be no different going into this, and hopefully the next round. If we go there with the right mentality for this fixture.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Welcome back, people. I don't know when I expect a manager to say, Linda, in these situations. Very difficult. They're not going to make outrageous statements. They're just going to play it nice and calm, nothing each, and go on with the game.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. He keeps talking about how it's a tough opponent, and even though we've obviously got a good lead, we performed well, we got a good result last week. He knows it's still going to be difficult, and there's work to be done, and they do need to have the right attitude. I don't think complacency is part of this team. I don't think that's why some of the performances maybe haven't been as good as we would have hoped this season. I don't think complacency is a problem. It's just making sure that they perform to the right levels and they're up from it from the first minute. But no, he says all the right things. Really good as well, Ox. It looks as if we've got the full squad to pick from, other than the two kind of longer term ones in Hadji and Davis, because we thought there was a few knocks maybe kicking about the squad. So that was good news.
Yeah, I like that, Linda.
Bridge, you come, mate?
Yeah, I was going to say, Linda's right there. It's not there was a couple of wee knocks, maybe you would expect a couple of wee knocks to be knocked about. But it seems okay, man. Like, see the things he was saying about, we'll see when it was start, we have to start the game, blah, blah, blah. And we have to start it with, we're not each. It's as simple as that. For the modernised game, it's nothing each. And then you play for that. We can't play for, it's 3-0 for us, Otherwise, you could end up losing the place. You need to think it's nothing each in the tie. Let's go on and do it. And I think that's what he was saying there. The team When you got into the park there, playing as if it's nothing each. Simple. And we've got a safety net of 3 goals. Simple. That's what I think about it, I'm so looking forward to it. But it's lovely to listen to, isn't it, at times? It's lovely to listen to. And he's so confident, so confident.
Right. Listen, it's all about getting things right, keeping things calm. That's your role as the manager, I think, Linda. And you don't want to go out there and say, we won 3-1 from last week, we're going to cuff this team. We all know that sport doesn't work like that,
No, and he knows as well, Ox, that they did score 3 goals, albeit they were all offside, and correctly that was the decisions that were given. So he knows that they're dangerous. They're a good team. They've got good players. Interesting as well that he said this a few times after they've played the first game. They do learn a lot more about the opposition, and I know that sounds pretty obvious, but he always talks about that, taking it into the next game. You've got other pointers, you've got things that you can work on. So they obviously do their homework, and as Ryan Kent said as well, they seem to sort of raise their game to a different level when it comes to Europe, but mainly as well, Ox, because these teams want to come out and play football. They're not parking the bus, they want to have a go, and that's kind of when we're at our strongest, I think, isn't it, when teams want to play football against us.
I agree. Open, usually decent parts, decent surfaces, Bridge, that we're not really used to away from home. And when I say decent parts, I mean decent sized parts where you can go and play football, Bridge.
Yeah, you're looking for pitches the same size as Ibrox, to be honest. Really about that. And yeah, that's a decent product to get the passing game going and be able to use the wings and all these wonderful things that we saw great Rangers teams from the past doing at Hampden, at Celtic Park, at Rangers, at Ibrox. Most Hampden's a huge pitch, But then again, someone goes out and measures it and you find out it's actually just the same size as Ibrox, just for saying sake. It's really good. I really like the way our manager does everything right. He wants to be able to go and play in a really good pitch, and it's a really good pitch. It should be in every stadium. The last couple of games we've been away from home there. We've played at St Johnstone, absolute shocker. Dens Park, absolute shocker. And that's just isn't right. And then you've got that crazy plastic pitch. It's just not right. I don't care what anyone says. It's just not right. They've got all these middens. So we're replaced Kilmarnock. They're out of the league and their plastic pitch, and we're stuck with Dundee. Nah, sorry. It's not right. Not for me anyway. So the sooner they get good pitches, the better. And obviously, with that in mind, I noticed a couple of wee bare patches at Ibrox. That we need to get that sorted as soon as possible.
There's a difference between Ibrox and some of the surfaces away from home, Linda.
Oh, definitely. When you were watching that game on Sunday, and I know you guys have touched on it about the fact all the empty seats, the pitch was awful. There's not really any excuse for that. Surely to goodness you would want your own team to play in a decent pitch as well, Ox. But the stadium over there, he was asked a few questions about how hostile it's going to be, and he made a good point about the fact that this team, this particular group of players, have been to some hostile grounds all over Europe in the last sort of 4 years, so they're well used to that. I don't think that'll faze our players at all, do you?
No, I don't, Linda. I think that what we've got is, and Bridgeman, I don't know what you think, we've got a team that's grown together and now became, for novices, when we started in 2018, they have played some amount of European games, Bridgeman.
Absolutely, good quality European games too, put some good teams and won well. Okay, a couple of times we didn't, which cover ourselves in glory, but most of the time we played very well, and we're up to the task. Particularly away from home, we played awful well. I just love it. I just love the way we play. I love European football. I make no excuses for it. I absolutely always have done. Love it.
I think people of a certain vintage, you grew up, it was exciting. For a start, it was under the lights traditionally, and it was players that you'd maybe never seen before, because you didn't have the coverage on the TV. So the game's changed. We can watch these guys all the time now, Linda, but it's still got a buzz about it that you don't get in a run-of-the-mill league match away to Dundee with a stadium that's fun down a ploughed field and no fans there.
No, absolutely, Ox. And as you say, it's the atmosphere that's created. I know last year, obviously, as we said earlier, it was different because fans weren't allowed in, but this season the atmosphere has been absolutely amazing. You know, you're watching, even when you're just watching it on the television, you can see and all the posts on social media from people that were at the games, etc., and the atmosphere and the tifos and the displays that the Union Bears have done as well at Ibrox. It's just made the occasions unbelievable. And away from home, the fans and some of these teams as well, the way that they've supported their teams. So it just makes for a great stage. And it would be absolutely wonderful if we could go through. But as we've said earlier there, it is going to be a tough game. But the players have got a lot of European experience behind them, Ox, and hopefully that will stand them in good stead.
Bridgman.
Yeah, it's exactly what Linda says there. We've got great players in our team, and the style of football we play, providing we do it the way the manager wants, and hold the ball, hold it well, pass it properly, and so on and so forth. And we've got a style that can make us play really good, maybe score a couple of goals, but hold the game, bit of control in your play, and let's do it. Let's step up, step back, step up, step back. Great stuff to watch. I just love the stuff, all the technicality of it. I love that stuff, you know. But Rangers have got good players, and I think our goalkeeper comes in for a lot of praise in the European games. Absolutely. Very, very good. It's great to have someone of that stature, you know.
All right, come and join us. It's a phone-in show. It'd be good to hear people win it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure. Come and join us. Give your thoughts. Give your team. I'm going to ask Linda for her team, but yeah. So 0141 356 1972, Bridge. What can we talk about, Bridgeman?
We could talk about everything they want about Rangers. It's got to be, in reality, about the famous Glasgow Rangers. So come and do it.
Sometimes we do DIY in relationships, but not always, Linda.
Just sometimes.
Just sometimes.
Sometimes a relationship expert doesn't want to talk to you.
No. It was a bit frosty this evening, wasn't it? Did you feel it?
Shocking, absolutely shocking. You put your finger up, wouldn't it?
Oh, this persona, I'm a nice guy. Oh.
Poor Foxy.
Well, I take my hat off to him again, doing his bit for the war effort. Got to say to him, fair play to him. No all heroes wear a cape, Linda.
We better say less about that one, Ox.
Well said, Linda. Well said. Just trying to draw you in there, Linda. Well done.
I'm still trying to go over that picture.
We won't talk about the cheating at the golf. So that's for another night.
Definitely not.
Oh dear. Right, come and join us, give your thoughts. Right, Linda, you're on the spot. You're Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. You've got to pick a team. Everybody's fit, but obviously Stephen and Yanis. Everybody's available. Aaron Ramsey, Ryan Jack, Scotty Arfield, Joe Aribo, Glenn Kamara, Ryan Kent, Alfredo Morelos. If I missed anything about James Sands, you've got, do you play Bassey, Borna, Balogun? Obviously the goalkeeper, I think he'll pick himself, the right back in the centre half, and then Linda, come on the spot.
There's some choice, isn't there now? Well, I've gone for I'll go for McGregor, I'll go with Tav, Goldson, Balogun and Bassey, and that's my back four, and then it'll be the two sort of sitting midfielders be Lundstrom and Jack. And then the three in front of them have gone for Aribo, Kamara and Kent with Morelos up front. So it's like a 4-2-3-1 Ox. And I believe that is the team that started last Thursday.
Okay. Would you argue with that, Bridge?
No, not really. But, I would like to see Ramsey getting a start for instance, you know. But the team that the Linda come up with, that's as good as a team as we're going to get. But I would like to have seen Ramsey getting a start. I really would have. Get him the first half of it, and sort of take him out and bring in one of our other guys, you know.
So how would you set the team up then? What would your team be to do that?
Exactly the same as Linda's, only instead of Amity. Oh my God! Did you say Lundstrom, Linda?
Yeah. Would you maybe leave a Rebo out and put Ramsey in?
I would not. I'd actually leave Lundstrom out and put a Rebo in. They put Ramsey in.
Well, then that's defensive mid role.
No. In the midfield.
Yeah, but we don't play like that. We would play a 4-2-3-1. Ramsey would be further forward and a Rebo further forward. If you take Lundstrom or Jack out, mate, you're obviously Ramsey.
What am I talking about? Of course, I'm getting off my nut. It would be a Rebo. I would take it. I would take out a Rebo.
All right, Joe Linda.
Well, I mean, he did have that knock, didn't he? Although we're not really sure if he was more just resting him at the weekend, and obviously Lundstrom, but he did say everybody's fit, Ox, as you've rightly said. The Arfield one is a difficult one because Arfield obviously was sitting out the last sort of 10 days, wasn't he there? I just think that's the team that I would go with, and I think he'll probably stick with the team that started last Thursday. But lots of choice.
Aye. It'd be good to hear what people think and see what they think. But listen, I've got Allen, McGregor, Tav, Golson, Balogun, Bassey. I'm between Lundstrom and Kamara next to Jack.
Yeah.
Because of last week and the way I would have to, I don't believe I'm putting Glenn Kamara out of our team in Europe.
No.
Glenn Kamara goes out. And in front of him, I've got Ryan Kent, Joe Aribo. Glenn Kamara to start with, yeah. And I'm went the same as you, Linda, innit?
Yes, that's the same team then, Ox.
But you could see Bridges' point of putting him. Yeah.
Ramsey.
You speak to what you think, Bridges. I could see Ramsey getting in there and Kamara coming on because he would then give you legs to cover Ramsey and Jack after an hour. Ramsey and Lundstrom after an hour, say. Fresh legs, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a permit. He can permit any 11 from 16 or 17 players, maybe even 18 players, if that's what he can allow. I think he's got a great chance to do that. And why not? I mean, as long as the guys come out and run their heart out for him, then, just challenge everything. Don't go mad, but because they'll just wait for you. They'll draw you in and give away stupid fouls and get booked and all that nonsense. You need to watch what we're doing there.
You are quite a disciplined team, though.
Yes, but we still get stupid bookings. Silly bookings, what Bassey get booked? Why does Bassey get booked, It looks as if he never done anything. So why did he get booked? That was doing
to Bassey. That was doing to silly refereeing, Bridge. You
can't legislate. But they get themselves into that position and all of a sudden that happens. And it's just unbelievable stuff. So do away with the stupid bookings if we can help it. And we'll do a lot better for ourselves. It's a big bash. He's been superb for us in Europe, isn't he? Really good. Good.
Ox, do you know who's actually on the yellow card tightrope? I know Alfie's one of them, isn't he?
Sakala.
And Lundstrom, maybe?
For last week, the bookings for last week, Lundstrom get booked.
Yeah. But I suppose, as you said, the presser, it's just forgetting about that, isn't it? And just you've got to just go out and lay everything on the sort of, the pitch. Don't shirk anything. Just play your natural game, and then obviously that gets us through tomorrow night, and then you can do the same on Sunday, and then they've got a wee bit of a rest. But leave everything out in the pitch. It's a really good squad he's got now, Ox, isn't it? Just getting these people back from injury. And as Bridge said, if we can get Aaron Ramsey up to full match fitness, what a player he could be for us in the running.
Here, Bridgeman?
Yeah, the guys, you can see for the short spaces of time he's been on the park. But he started at the weekend. I thought he was a fantastic player. In fact, I got a great game. A great game. We don't expect too much from him at the moment. We know he's not 100% fit, and it's all about getting the time in the legs in, and get it done. But he will be a tremendous player for us. Providing he doesn't get injured, I don't like to build people up too much, but my goodness, I'm so looking forward to seeing him. He's brilliant. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So my Bridge, I'm getting a bit nervous about it, actually. Just wanting to be here because it's a big game. Anyway, we'll be joined by Andy Phillips. Even Andrew.
Good evening. Good evening, Bridge, Ops and Lindy.
Evening, Andy.
I'm getting quite excited for this, right? And you know what I feel about Europe preference is winning the double, but there's something about this game that's getting me quite intrigued.
I agree with you, Andy. It's actually the whole thing about Europe. If we get through this game, because it's the world's our oyster, if we can get through this game, we'll get every bit as good a chance as anyone else in the tournament if we can get through this game. And it's putting a lot of weight on our players, of course, But seriously, we've got a great chance and marvellous opportunity. And I hope we grab it with both hands. I mean that literally, we grab it with both hands. I don't want to grab the ball with both hands.
Andy, what's changing is just it's a tournament, and we're getting a chance to earn a lot of money for the club. And
it's a bit of everything, Ox. To be honest with you, it's prestige. You're getting my name right out there in Europe. We're getting to the quarterfinals. That's when you start looking at the European tournaments as an whole. And it'd be nice to see our name in the hat there. When we're coming, we've got a big league game coming up against them. Hopefully, to level it up with them. Then we got the semi-final as well. It's everything in general. The players, the last couple of games seem to want to stand up. Bit of caution, right enough, although we're very, very excited for it. April could be quite a bad month for us as well, so we've got to look at both sides of the coin there. I don't want it to be, obviously, but that's just my heat telling me that, right enough. But tomorrow night, I'm biting at that one. I'm it's like every minute's going like an hour. I just want to get it on and see how we can compete against them, knowing that we're in front and go out with the right attitude and get a great club, another good platform on that goes around Europe and see us do well and in the next round. You can't knock that. Because there's some big teams still in that Euro tournament and the teams that have come down. So we can get through this. I think. I look at it this way: play it in 20-minute stages, and just make sure you do what Gio said, do the things right, stand up to it, the atmosphere's there. That shouldn't worry us. We play in front of big crowds and all that, so that don't worry me about what they do to us. We've been there with Selham before, been in all over the place with little crowds, intimidation. That don't worry us. That's nothing. It's what the players do in the park. Stand up. They've got a fantastic chance here, an absolute fantastic chance. Wouldn't it be great if we're sitting here tomorrow night going, oh, yes. That's just, I'm really excited about it. I know this old man's getting it. By the way, on the race night, there's a rumour going around that there's a white jacket up there for raffle.
Say that again, mate.
The white jacket that was going around, is that up for raffle there on the race night?
No, mate, that's a white stick. Your missus, you're getting mixed up, mate.
I've not heard it mentioned for a long time there, so I thought it might have just popped up there, but there you go.
Oh, you're talking about Foxy's leather safari jacket?
That's the one, yes.
You want to see that? That's an exhibition in the art galleries, mate. That's how old that is, mate.
I just come into my mind there when you were talking about it, like I think the race night. There you go.
Just fit you too, Andy. That would just fit you.
Would I go with my fedora, do you reckon? A nice big blue one that I'm coming up in.
Brilliant. Cash Taylor's and never returned it. He just forgot all about
it. Brilliant. I love it. That's brilliant. But yeah, you know, like we said, like, you know, it's a great opportunity for Rangers tomorrow night, and I think most Rangers fans are going to be feeling the same as I'm feeling, right enough. Like I said, in Europe, you know where I stand, but this is, you know, you kind of start, you get at quarterfinals, you start imagining things can happen, don't you? Little things that can happen. You know, I think when they got their three goals disallowed and all that, you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, is our name on this? You know, but we'll see. Let's get through tomorrow night, and then we'll take it from there.
One game at a time. I think the manager's spot on with that, Linda. Put it down, and Andy's also right. We get to 20 minutes, it's still nothing each. Their task becomes harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. As we said earlier, they need to be up for it right from the first whistle, and if they come at us, which is what we would expect, Docs, it might leave gaps, and I think we all believe that our team will score against them if we get opportunities. So it's all about picking the right moments to actually break away and try and get a goal ourselves. I don't know, you're expecting goals, aren't you? Maybe it'll be a 0-0, but I doubt that very much. But it is a fantastic opportunity to try and get into the quarterfinals. And when you think back to the start of the campaign, the European run this year, obviously it was disappointing not getting through in the Champions League, and then we lost the first two games in the Europa League group stage. I don't think any of us would have thought that we would have been on the verge of getting to the quarterfinals back then, but they've certainly picked up the performances, haven't they?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ian. Absolutely right.
And can I put my finger on that? Can you, Bridge? Can you put your finger on that, mate?
No. Everybody's mystified as to what happened to us in the European games. Two games in the Champions League qualifier. They're rubbish. We're just rubbish. They didn't do anything for it. We never held our heads up high or nothing. And with the first two games in the quarter in the what do you call it, the group stage. And people again, what is going on with us? What has happened to us? And all of a sudden it started to one wee result goes this way and then another one, then another, and so on and so forth till we get through. Unbelievable stuff. That's so exciting. But I can't put my finger on it. I just can't. What I do know is that some of the games we gave the ball away at the crucial moments. We're running up there and I didn't know where we were going, running with the ball at our feet. Couldn't find a player to pass to. I'd rather they just shoot and go for a goal kick, and that puts it into play. Sometimes we just actually left the ball and fell or something like that, or they took it half as and ran up the pitch and caused us problems. I just don't like the way we lose these balls, man.
We'll see what it takes. I'm getting the nerves. I get the battle fever, Andy. Understand it. It's a big game for the club. Revenue, prestige, help attract players in the future, all that stuff, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I just said to you, I've got I don't usually bother before, but I poured myself a couple of vodkas and I just thinking about it, like,
Just for a change, aye.
Yeah, well, I usually have a night off on Tuesday, Wednesday. Sorry, Tuesday, Wednesday, innit? But no, just something about this. I've got a real battle fever right now, enough. I've been staying in the WhatsApp feed today and all that. Every minute's in like an hour. It's not like I've not been busy today, right enough, but I just want the game here now. I think that'd be a real big fill for Rangers. We get through this tomorrow night,
Oh, it'd be fabulous.
Yeah, coming on the back of Dortmund as well.
Oh, wow.
The bit you're talking about, the bad form in Europe, do you think that could have been down to the players kind of being knowing that Gerrard's was wanting out, so there wasn't a kind of stability there at that given time?
That's a possibility. If we've been really honest with you, things never looked good for the start of pre-season last year. There was just a lack. If you compared the previous season to this season at the start, when we went to that tournament in Lyon, etc., how we played, the tempo. We watched the Partick Thistle game and even the pre-season games, and the Tranmere one was one.
Yeah.
We were so disappointed, and just the performance and it just wasn't as fluid. It wasn't as fast. There wasn't so much going on. So maybe there was a vibe coming through the camp now. You know what football's like, Andy.
Yeah, well, we did say that at the start, didn't we? Big Al, Ash Youngs, and that it wasn't so much the Partick one that we watched. It was the Tranmere one. It was the way we played in that. Like you said, the previous pre-season, although they were like Oxford and teams like that, we were killing them, weren't we? 4 and 5s, and it just wasn't there at the start. And then obviously then we got in front in the league and that. So although we were playing bad, we still had 8 points in the bag. We put ourselves in this position we're as far as the league goes. But it looks like they've just obviously we're hoping that they'll walk up at the right time here now. And this could be massive for us on all fronts if we really get our foot down and show them what we can do. That would be absolutely massive. It'd be absolutely brilliant if we could come through that, wouldn't it? I mean, a double, another round. That's for me. I want the double. I've said that from I wanted the treble right enough, but can't because that's gone. But I still want the double, and if we get through the next round, then you start dreaming, don't you? At the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I don't like saying dreaming because at the end of the day, we're Rangers. And on our day, we've been 4 European finals. On our day, we can get there, no matter who's playing. We're Rangers. We're not anybody. We're Glasgow Rangers. It's as simple as that, and that's the way I see it.
You hear, mate? You hear?
Well said. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Oxford, what do you reckon this game tomorrow night's worth for the winner? If it was us, just for saying so.
Well, I think if we get through, that gets us another 1.8 million euros in prize money, Bridgeman. Yeah.
Oh wow!
And then you've got the TV rights and the gate receipts for the next round. So I'm going to say, and obviously you sit in the posh seats and that, so they're padded, so they're a bit, So what do you think? It'd be fair to say the average spend for the game when you take in hospitality, etc., Linda, would it be fair to say maybe 50 quid the next home game? Would that be fair?
Yeah, that would be fair. Yeah.
So that'll bring in about 2.5 million, Bridge, plus your TV rights, and that's pounds. So potentially you're maybe talking about £5 million if we get through tomorrow night minimum, I would think.
Oh wow, that's just fabulous. That is just utterly fabulous. Utterly
and then what we don't know is you don't know what the deals you've got with your sponsors, etc. The further you get in Europe, the more exposure, the more revenue. You have all these clauses.
Yeah.
All big factors, and obviously the prestige and to attract players, Andy, it's a big thing going forward.
Oh, of course it is. Look, we get the money and we get stable, whatever we do, and then we hopefully bring a better quality play, keep adding to it. Better never stops, as you like to say. Hopefully we're bringing in better players, but just seeing us out there on the European front, you got to look where we were and what they've done to us, and I'm not going to go all down that road because we all know what it is. But it's a marvellous achievement what they've done, and as I say, I get angry with them at times where they play. Very angry when they threw the points away, but seeing them where we are on the verge of tomorrow night, and if we get through that is massive. But as I say, I don't take that as we shouldn't be there. We're Glasgow Rangers and we deserve to be there. We're known. Look at what I say. Everybody knew us in Europe, so I don't buy that. We're there because we are Glasgow Rangers. Simple as.
Aye, we've got history. If you take maybe the last 20 years, we're the only Scottish, 19 year maybe, we're the only Scottish club that's done anything in Europe knockout wise at all, Linda,
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. And I know we alluded to the progress game and where we were back then, but if you look at it in the whole, would be the first Scottish team to get the quarters since we did it, obviously under Walter. But everybody is talking about Rangers and the fact that how we're performing in Europe. Maybe we don't think they talk about it as much in our own country, ironically. But when you look across things like the social media And you look at, you know, the highlights programme on BT Sport when they had, you know, the English-based one. They were, you know, looking at our result last week, and it was the best result for a home team in all the legs, you know. And, you know, they were just saying, I think the guy Martin Keown was saying that you can start to dream. You know, we don't want to get too carried away, but everybody is looking at the results, the Rangers results. In the Dortmund game, the publicity that got Ox for the club was absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, up here, they just can't seem to go over it because it's us, but we don't need to worry about that. But the club's definitely back on the map in the European sense, for sure.
Well said there, Linda. Well said.
I think that's a fair comment, Linda, and I think it's good for its positive vibes. I don't know why, Andy. I'm quite nervous. You wouldn't think you'd be nervous 3-0 up, mate. Bridgeman.
Yeah, I think all of us, every Rangers fans are nervous. I know some of the guys might turn and say, we'll murder this mob, but that goes on. You get people saying all that. Personally, I just wanted to say it's 0-0, and we treat it like a 0-0, and we just steady down and go on with the job. That's all we need to do. And obviously, you got 3 goals in there, because that team's going to come at you like a tornado. They're going to come at us like a tornado, and that's for sure. Or maybe 2 tornadoes. And we saw when they put pressure on last week against us at Ibrox, and they actually did score 3 goals, but 3 goals in the net, but offside. So luck played a wee bit of a part for us there. But I don't know. I just don't want them to fall into any traps and invite that team onto us, because they are a really good team. They were a very good team. Very good.
Andy?
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Yeah, they show a lot of that team. That also, you know, the linesmen, the rules of the games that outlived Barano. You know, the linesman got it right, so that's the rules of the game. You're offside. It's not a goal. Rangers did what they had to do, take the chances when they came their way, and that's why we're sitting on a 3-0 lead. Akerlof, if they come at us, we have enough in that team to go and punish them, damage them. If we could get the first goal, I think all hell would break loose with them. I think they'd lose a plot. So I think if we could get the first goal, for me, that would really put us, you know, in
it would make it really difficult for them if we score first. It would also mean we could move from behind the sofa, wouldn't it?
Oh, we're not behind the sofa. I'll be standing up all night there. I'll tell you, the wee table will be at the side of the telly with a vodka on it. I'll be sleeping on top of it.
Oh dear. I dread to think what's behind everybody's sofa, Linda, is European ties.
Well, honestly, Ox, I watch the games with my brother and my cousin, and sometimes I get into the room next door. I'm really, really getting terrible at watching Rangers, so I'll probably be in there for the last 15 minutes. What do you say, Brad?
It's you and your 1-0s. It's you.
No, me. That's not me. Why do you think that is, Linda?
Do you know what it is, Bridge? I think I just get myself worked up, and I think we were in a really great position, and I think, imagine what this is going to be like if we get through, and then, you know, you just think, right, just sit down and watch the game and be calm. And I say that at the beginning of every game, but Bridge, it just doesn't work out like that.
I go through phases of, I blame the players. You know, a stray pass, a wee bad pass here or there, or a missed tackle, and I blame them. What are you doing there? You shouting at the telly like a madman.
Right, okay. Get yourselves in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
say this day that I must hang. I fought those evil men, and I do it all again. And they say this day that I must hang. So build my gallows, build them high, that I might see before I die the antrim land and the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home. I am a loyal Ulsterman. They say this day that I must hang. Well, I fought that evil band, and I freed my native land. They say this day that I must hang. So build my gallows, build them high, that I might see before I die the antrim land, the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home. The antrim land, the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, okay. We're back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aye, okay. Big game.
Yeah.
And we've got... Are you thinking pretty much the same lines for the team, Andy?
Yeah, I'm going the same as last Thursday myself. Not broken. Don't fix it. Get on with it. Get the job done.
Here. That's what it's all about. Getting the job done. Aye. There's not going to be a lot of changes, and then we'll expect more changes. And Thursday start using the squad. I think Sunday, Andy.
Yeah, I think it's imperative now that he really does use his head and use his players, and even the ones that are sitting about waiting to get in there should be really tearing at the leashes now, because what's on the line here is like you say, it's going to be Art Attack City kind of thing, like, you know, these games coming up, but the games that we want to be involved in, and if we can come through them, you know.
All right, we'll be joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Evening. Good.
Evening, Al.
Oh, hello, Linda. I still can't find you in that fans only.
You're right. My hiding.
You must be hiding.
You need to get an invite, Al.
Oh, do you? Aye.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good to hear Linda's dulcet tones as usual. It's really nice, refreshing. Well, it's getting advertised here, boys. It's Angie's homecoming, so when are we pulling out?
Sooner the better, Al, but
I'll leave
it's
it at
no
that,
decision,
man,
is it?
Well, we're the fans, and then they'll ask you for your season ticket money and ask you to buy strips next season. Yeah. You've just calculated, you've done a wee calculation in your head there, so say we get to the next round 5 million, are we that desperate for cash?
I don't think so, mate.
Legitimate money. That's legitimate money you can win, and prize money, you know what I mean? And it just leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, like, But there's a few guys who asked me about it, and they just didn't quite seem to understand, you know what I mean? I was taken aback when it said friendly. Is there such a thing with them? You know what I mean? So that's what it is. I hope the club make an announcement shortly. They can't let this drag out because, as I say, I think that's the tickets released. Had a wee look at that Ticketek thing.
Seen that this morning, mate. I seen that you know. Listen,
did you know that player that they brought forward for the Rangers player?
Who was that? I never seen that, mate. No.
I never heard of the boy before.
Scott
McDonald. Oh, I can't even remember his name. That's what I mean. You've got other players here that your Ferguson's, even Gavin Ray. He kicks about here. Tony Vidmar, Muscat. You know what I mean? Kind of players we rolled a player out. Never heard of the guy in my life before.
Right.
Apart from that, look, I don't want to be negative with that. I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. I mean, we are in the driving seat. It's refreshing going on to a big European game against they're a big European name. You know what I mean? The Red Star Belgrades. That's teams that have lit up competitions in the past. They are a no bad team, to be quite honest. I think you mentioned last night that big forward they've got looks a no bad big player. But we're in the driving seat here, and I think we can't forget that. I'm not saying be cautious, but we go there, we play our game, we take our game to them. I think gaps will open up for us to get in behind. They're going to be, I think, target Brian Kent tomorrow, so that might leave gaps somewhere else for us to get in behind them. And if we do get that goal, I think we should be looking for that goal. Because that's a tie over, I would imagine. And I don't know if they'll be right up for it. I think sometimes that mentality, once they're beat, they're beat. You know what I mean? I don't know if they can carry it into a second game. And the past 3 years, I mean, we're quite an accomplished European team. You know what I mean? We took some big scalps. He's mentioned last night, like Galatasaray, who else? Porto, Leo, you know what I mean? Dortmund. We've took some big scalps, so I don't think we should fear them in any way. But we should be doing our own thing. Like we should be doing our own thing. Is Andy there for Leeds? Is he still on?
I'm still here.
All right, Andy. How are you, mate?
All right, bud.
Hi, I'm good. I was just wondering how are you feeling about Ryan Jack? Yeah.
He's doing all right now, isn't he?
Aye.
I'll ask you a question, Al. Do you think Gerrard will come for him in the summer?
No, I think
we wouldn't sell him anyway, would we?
No. He's mentioned last night, how old is Ryan Jack? 30, 29? 30?
29.
29. So he's still got 2 or 3 good years under his belt, like. You know what I mean?
Aye.
He could even have effectively have another 6 years under his belt. And somebody mentioned loosely captain in regards to him. I think that's a no bad shout if he can keep him fit. That's my reservation with him. I think he would make an excellent captain for us.
Yeah, well, Al, that's the point I was trying to make when I come out with that. You know that he would have been in my eyes. I said a long time ago I would build my Rangers team around Jack. And I would make him captain, but the problem was he wasn't. He's always injury prone, isn't he? Mm-hmm. That would be the problem. I think if he'd had a fit Jack, I think he definitely would be Rangers captain.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, he's been unlucky with injuries plus suspensions. What's that way? He's been. When did he sign for us? Pedro signed him 2017. He's been with us 5 years. You know. Mm-hmm. And you think of the games he's played compared to Tavin goals, and it's just unfortunate, Bridgeman.
Yeah, when he came from Aberdeen to us, I thought it was a great buy. Not a buy, we got him for about not enough free, you know. And I thought he's going to be a great player. He's going to be a captain before long, because he was Aberdeen captain and a good captain as well. But then. I think it was second game against Aberdeen. They absolutely crunched, you know, and of course the injuries started to come in. You know, no, he's a real good tackler himself. But when you go in as many times as he does, you get the knock, you know.
We'll cut across your bridge. We've been joined
We've
been joined by Tommy. How are we doing, Tommy?
Oh, I'm doing well, Mark Socks. I've tried to ring a few times, and when it rings, it just cuts off.
But we see your number, Tommy, and we know it's you.
Ah, so you cut me off, but you cut me off, Ox. I'm good.
I don't know, mate. I'm nothing to do. Thankfully, I'm nothing to do with the technical team, and sometimes they're inundated with calls, mate. If you just hang on, I come through and just let it keep ringing, they'll usually answer it. It might cut you off if somebody else is on the call, mate. Yes.
All right, I get you. Yeah, I was listening in last night. I thought it was a good conversation you were having last night. That was very good.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. We tried our best.
Yeah, good. Are we all set for tomorrow, Ox?
Yes, we are. And just a big shout out to all the Bears who are there. Please try and stay safe. It was always a tricky trip to go on because of what's happening in the world events at the moment and people's political leanings in that part of the world. But I'm getting...
Because what I was going to say to you last night, because you were talking about the Dundee game. I thought they put the game to bed early and then they had today, Ox. I thought it was very good. But I like what the boy was saying about... Because apparently, listening to the commentary on Saturday, they were saying that Dundee fans were boycotting the game because they're season ticket holders, they're having to pay extra money and all that. But see, there's a difference, Ox. You're a Rangers fan, you follow the team no matter what, don't you? But the Dundee fans didn't want to go.
There's various reasons going on at Dundee, and I don't want to make excuses for them because it was a disgrace. Their management team they don't like. They're not happy with the team. They're not happy with the appointment of the sporting director. I don't think they're happy with their guy who's a CEO, and I don't think they were happy with the prices that were being charged to put the boot into both their own fans and their fans. So a combination, but it still doesn't excuse their poor turnout. But the Rangers, as usual, turned out.
Yep, and it's like you said, I think last night, if they knew they were only going to get that amount of fans, they could have given Rangers that other end. But obviously they don't want to give Rangers the other end, but they could have done.
Ox, did Southside no make up the money with buying pies for Big Stevie? I was here. It was like a 40,000 sellout.
Due to ongoing legal proceedings, I'm not allowed to comment on anything in that department.
Okay. I can come as a witness right enough because I heard that UN podcast sold them only lasted a couple of minutes on the countertop in the kitchen. He's a monster out of Sesame Street.
What I was going to say to you, Ox, was last night was, what's the overall view of the fans is about opening up this for the Celtic games and that, making it back to the way it was before? How do you say to people who have bought a season ticket, you're going to have to move? I mean, would you? I'd rather keep it at the 100, Ox.
I get that. I'm not against it, but what I will say is, Tommy, having been there on a few occasions when they're like that, it ain't the same game.
No. But the only thing that's always got me, mate, my mates, when they go to Celtic Park, is they get stuck in a corner. And as you probably know, you can't see.
Stuck in that corner many a time, but I understand what you're saying, mate. I understand that.
If they give us the whole, of that stand, then yeah, I agree with what the board are saying. Well, give us the whole of that Lisbon Lions stand, and then you've got a deal.
I would want to name it change first, but that's another story. Right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Listen, it's a real emotive subject, and I'm sure we'll maybe discuss it in the build up to the next games. But how do you think it's going to go tomorrow night, Tommy?
I think as a tie, it's not over, Ox, because they didn't look a bad side at Ibrox, to be fair. I mean, they 3 goals chopped off, so as a tie, I don't think it's over, Ox. I think we'll score over there, Ox, but I think it'll be close. Really, I think it'll be really close because these are not a bad side, are they?
No, they're not a bad side, but I just don't think we'll get beat tomorrow night. I'm feeling that in my water, Linda. Either that or I've got an infection.
No, I would agree, Ox, and I do think we'll score. Over there, we've proven that. As I was saying, we've had some great performances away from home. I don't think the atmosphere will intimidate our players either. They've played in some great stadiums over the last 4 years. They've got all the experience now, and with the type of players that we've got going forward, we're always liable to score a goal, and I think we will score tomorrow night. I hope we can just keep it tight and we don't lose an early goal, because that's when the nerves start to kick in for everyone. But I'm confident we'll get the job done tomorrow night.
Big Al, who must be mentioning it to a few Serbians in the part of the world. What's your views?
There's a few.
Get the job done.
I think we can get the job. I think we built up that pedigree. I don't think teams want to play us. I think, what am I going to say here? I think it'll be pretty much the same result. I'm looking for a few goals. I think we've got the confidence we can get a few goals. I think the players are looking a bit more confident. And the midfield's starting to look a lot more settled. Confidence there, that breeds confidence with the back four or the back five. I think McGregor's still an excellent goalkeeper. I think it'll be much the same result and much the same game. We'll come out winners. We'll go into that next round. And then, hey ho, Seville, here we come.
It becomes intriguing, Bridgeman, doesn't it? It becomes intriguing. I think we'll go through, but the nerves will get even more as you go deeper in the tournament.
Oh yes, yeah. Look, if we can get through this, which I hope we do, we do, and every Rangers win, that helps it. But really, mouth-watering when you look at all the teams that are left in, and we're going to be challenging and trying to beat these teams, and with a bit of luck we will. But even going to Ibrox and seeing them, it's just fabulous. It's just fantastic, you know. I absolutely love it. I really enjoyed watching that team, Red Star Belgrade at Ibrox, and I really enjoyed watching Borussia Dortmund at Ibrox again. They're just great to watch. Great games. The crowd love it, and the excitement's incredible. Brilliant. Bring it all on. I want to see it all. Seriously. Provided we win the games like that, you know. Brilliant.
Aye, it's all about winning football matches. And then you come, mate. And you come.
Yeah, well, personally for me, the reason I think I'm more nervous is that was so far ahead. You get what I mean? If it was like 1-0 or 2-1, I think I'd be more confident in a daft kind of way. But the fact that we're so far in front of them, 3-0, it's a big score. You don't want us to see us slip up there. I mean, and I also think what's in the back of my head as well, we beat that French mob 3-0 and we ended up getting knocked out, didn't we? You know, so there's always that sort of flicks about in the back of your head. I know it's a different time and a different set of players that we've got in it, but I think it's the fact that we're so far ahead that's making me feel nervous. But I really am looking forward to this one. I really have got a bit between my teeth for this one, you know.
Fox.
Yes, mate.
Do you think the slight nervousness, the trepidation going into this game is because we always have kind of one eye on our league form, and our league form's not been great this season. The draws have really stung us. But if you look at our European form, pardon me, I mean, there's a lot of big teams that didn't have the same European form as us over the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I think if you look at it as a standalone game, European thing, I think the nervousness goes away. I think we're really in a big shout of progressing. I'm not saying winning anything, but progressing game by game, match by match, you know what I mean?
I think the nervousness comes about, if we're really honest, we know that the 3-0 score flattered us a wee bit last week, Linda.
Yeah, I think so, and they're well capable of scoring a goal. Obviously, they had the 3 offside goals, as Andy says, correctly given offside.
Welcome to BT Mobile.
So, they have scored against us, Ox. They got up the park, they created chances, they looked dangerous. But see, other than the three goals that we scored, we created more chances as well. When we got the third goal with Balogun's header, we had a couple of really great chances after that to get a fourth and even a fifth. And then Golson had that header at the end as well that would have put us in real easy street. So I'm confident, as I said earlier, that we'll create chances and there'll be some gaps for us to exploit because they do have to come out and have a go.
Aye. I get it. I think Ryan Kent could play a major part tomorrow night. I don't know what you think. Tommy.
Yes, the good drops. You're right. Yeah, I thought he had a great game in the first game. Yeah, if he's on his game, they'll know about to touch him. If he's on his game like he has been most of the European games, definitely. But if Golston and Balogun and that in the defence are in form, then they don't get past it. So.
Welcome to BT.
Aye, obviously if we keep a clean sheet, there's no danger, Andy, eh?
Yeah, well, of course. Well, we're not going to lose, that's for sure. We're in the next round, aren't we? I think, like Linda said there, great plan. I was just going to say the same. You know, we did have other chances to score goals, and I think that, as I said, for me, if we get that first goal, I think they'll implode. I really do. Al said it as well. They tend to get a bad doing. They talk a lot, but they don't carry it through. So I hope I'm right with what I've said there, and that we go and get that. Even if we don't get the first, as long as we do our job, create our chances, I'm convinced we'll score. I think I've got a funny feeling it'll be 2 each. So I might have a punt on that.
2 each? Okay.
2 each,
I'd take that. I'd prefer it if we went 2-0 up, Linda.
Would you come out from behind the couch then?
I would relax.
I probably would watch it if we went 2-0 up, but I think that's a good shout, Andy. We were talking about it as a family and we were saying it could be 2 each or even 3 each, but
yeah.
Could you imagine that one?
We'll be right here, I think. I've just got a feeling. I don't know about you, but I've just got a feeling that we'll all be in that next round.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think they're capable of scoring.
Sorry.
Oh, on you go, Bridge.
I was just trying to say that it's a fantastic opportunity we've got, and we mustn't let it go. We mustn't let it go. We do what we can. Obviously, if we don't get it, we don't get it, but it'll be very sad. But what a chance we've got. Absolutely superb chance. So, Rangers, get right in there and do the business for yourselves and us. Keep it going.
Keep it going for the Rangers. Where's that come from? When you come, Tommy.
I agree with Bridgman. I think he's right. 100%. If we play the way we've been, I like the other boy says with the league form. The league form's not been great, but the European form's been fantastic. You can't fault the club in Europe. The performances they put on. I mean, even against Dortmund, it was brilliant. I mean, when they were there, they never thought they'd beat them out, and we squished them out there, Ox, and then to get the result, Ibrox was even better. So yeah, I think if we put the sort of performances in that we've been putting in Europe, Ox, I don't think there's any problem.
Cheers, mate. Big Al. Obviously a big Serbian community in Australia. What did they say about? I know I spoke to you briefly about it, but now that the tie's over,
they never said much. They would say, like Andy said, they were full of bluster before it, and then they never said much to me after it. So I think that tells you the kind of mentality. I think. What kind of result do they need to knock us out?
They have to win but if they have to win with 4 clear goals, they've got to win by 4 clear goals. So, I mean, if they win 4-0...
There you go, aye.
So, because there's no...
chances of that happening?
Well, Rangers would have to no turn up. That's what's got to happen. So they've got to win the 4 clear goals. So, because just the way it goes, rules now finish, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, also all the Serbian boys, they're all, if you like, Rangers leanings compared to the other side. That's maybe your Bosnians and that here. But look, I think it's very difficult for them to progress here. I don't think they'll be going into this game with much confidence, thinking that they can. They might say it, they might look in the mirror, but I think deep down that they know that they're being pumped. They got pumped. Their luck ran out in the first game, so I think we could safely book say we're in the next round. I may be totally wrong, but I've got that feeling. I think we've got a bit of luck with this. Look, I'm going to hang up there now.
All right, cheers, mate. All right,
no, thank you. Have a nice evening. Take care.
Cheers, Al.
All right,
I think we'll be
all the best. You too.
I think somebody's outside. I don't know who. Somebody.
It's me, Ox. I'm walking home.
All right.
So I'm going to let you go. But thanks for ringing me back, Ox, and I'll keep trying to get through.
All right. Cheers, Tommy.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
I think Peter's. I think Alex. What's yours joined us? Alex.
Good evening, Ox. Sir. Bridgerman, Linda, Andy, and everybody else that's there. Everybody okay?
Hello, young Alex. Evening, Alex.
Evening, Alex.
Good stuff. Actually, me looking forward to tomorrow now.
Yes,
really
mate.
Excited.
Yes, excited's a word. Good word, Andy. Can't you say that when Bridges about? What's your thoughts, Alex? What's your team?
Well, my thoughts. How you've got it? I turn around another way, right? We've got to think, although we're winning 3-0, just pretend it's nothing each. And if it wasn't nothing each, going over there, us Rangers supporters would still think we'd have a chance of getting through. If we'd won 1-0 and went over there, we still would be confident. So we're 3-0 up here, and we know they're going to come out, but Rangers will score over there. And I've no doubt we'll be in the quarter-finals, the back of 7 o'clock on Thursday night.
Well said. Well said, mate.
Well said, young Alex. Well said.
Here.
Yes.
What's your team, Alex? I'm always intrigued in your team.
I would have McGregor, Tavernier, Connor Golston.
I'll cut across you, mate, but I think Peter's joined us. You joined us, Peter? Amanda. Are you Amanda?
It's Amanda.
Showing in the background, Amanda.
Eh?
The show on.
No, I've not nothing on. I've got nothing on at all.
All right, we'll come here in a minute. Carry on, Alex.
I didn't mean that.
Bridgeman.
Oh, you're all right. Hang on, Amanda. No problem.
You go, Alex.
Right.
Eat that.
McGregor, Tavernier, Golston, Balogun, Bassey, Lundstrom and Jack. I would play Kamara, Aribo, Morelos and Kent, and hopefully be able to bring Ramsey on for about the last half hour.
All right, okay. That's pretty much the same as us, Linda.
Yeah, I think that's the same team as us, Alex. The only sort of, we're talking about whether Ramsey would maybe start, but I don't think he will. And the other one was Scotty Arfield, but because he's missed the last couple of games, and that's the team I think that started last Thursday, so they probably deserve another shot at it, Alex. So a great team and plenty of options on the bench.
Definitely, Linda. Plus, you've got to remember, we're experienced in Europe now, and we know we're going to a hostile environment. But you've been to Galatasaray in Turkey. That's hostile. Bromby was absolutely bonkers. So Rangers can go out there. They go to all firm games. It's no problem. They'll go as long as they remember the tactics that Gio set out and they all play to the top of their game. Everybody 8 out of 10. And as I say before, we'll be in the quarter-finals on Thursday night.
Well said, Alex.
Bring in Amanda who's still got us all blushing.
No, I just thought I'd give you a wee phone and tell you I'm still alive. It's all right.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Aye, all right. Aye, fine. No, I would just take a win the morning night. I would take a Bridgeman the morning night. That would do me. You know what I mean? A 1-0 the morning night would do me as long as we get through. You know what I mean? But okay, I'm looking forward to it. I always do. Squeaky bum time right enough sometimes, but it's good fun. Do you know what I mean? So that was all I was wanting to say. I'm looking forward to it the morning night, and a 1-0 will do me the morning night.
Yeah, I would take that all day long. Bridgeman?
I agree, 100%. Take it all day long. Bridgman, I'll take us through. Finished. Happy.
I suppose you could say, Andy, a double Bridgeman will take us through, because if they only win 1-0, we're through and all.
Yeah, well, that'll do. The one that Alex said there about Ramsey coming on for that, Alex, I take it that, would you think if Jack does his job, gets us to that 70 minutes, that we take Jack off for Ramsey in looking for Jack, keeping him going forward for the big games coming out ahead as well? Do you think that would be a good idea?
Possibility. The thing is, go what do you call it? Get the result in first. Ryan Jack, they're going to have a hard shift tomorrow. Let's be quite truthful. That midfield's going to be run all over the place, and they're going to have to use these substitutes. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring on the Artfield later on as well, and that's Sands. Seriously. But I'll tell you now, we're 3-0 up here, and we know they're quite a good team. You're at the game there last week, you seen what they're all about. Albeit they score 3 goals and get them chopped off. The Rangers created a hell of a lot of chances. We'll score out there. That's how I look at it. There's no problem, man. Ryan Kent will run right tomorrow night. That's how I look at it. I may be optimistic, but I'm getting in there tomorrow. And I'll tell you one thing, if it was the other way about, if it was 3-0 to them, they wouldn't be bothering about the Rangers.
I think this is like a boxing match as well. They'll punch us, but I'm pretty convinced we'll punch them as well. You know, so I think we're strong enough to do these. I really do. As I said earlier on, I'm buzzing for this one, and I'm not usually banging for European games, like, but this one it's taking my fancy.
Right, listen, I'll go and let other callers come in, guys, okay? And I'll speak to you all soon, okay?
Yeah, put your nightgown on, please, Amanda.
Yes, I will do. Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night, Amanda.
Bye, Amanda. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's a long time since that happened to you on the phone, Alec.
Oh, you know, live radio, you know what to expect, do you?
No, never we don't put the cameras on, mate.
Oh, Christ. But no, seriously, the experience we've got in Europe on it over the years now, and I'll enhance us tomorrow night. And the foundations were set with Stevie Gerrard, as much as folk maybe go against him in that. But he's the guy who got his own here. And these guys are capable of turning this round and get this result tomorrow night. The tactics will be there. They've just got, and they've got to, what do you call it, adhere to his tactics. And I'm almost sure. And they'll be more frightened with Alfredo Morelos up front. So she run them ragged there last week.
Yeah. I think him and Kent, they'll not look forward to playing them again, would you? Will they? Alec?
No, definitely no. You could see the damage they can create. And as I say, Aribo, maybe that game they're just taking him out there last week or game, a wee bit of refreshment, because this boy can play as well. And we've got chances here. As long as the defence do their work, and the goalkeeper, as I say, everybody's got to be 8 out of 10 tomorrow night. No passengers, everybody get in there. And as I say before, we're the talk of the place now. Even Brighton Laudrup made the comment. You want to hear the comments here in Denmark about Rangers and it. Everywhere's talking about the Rangers bar Scotland. You're down there in England, they're talking about it on that BT. Owen Hargreaves and Michael Keown. They're all talking how good this Rangers team are. And we're made for European football. That's how I see it. If teams come out there and want to play football, Rangers will give them a game.
You mate. What about John McKenny? Evening, Kenny.
Good evening, Alex. Evening, Linda, Alex, and all the rest of you guys. We've been on for a while, you know.
Hi, Kenny.
Sorry?
Hi, Kenny.
Hi, sorry, Bridgman. How you doing, mate? Sorry, mate. I'm buzzing for tomorrow night, aye, definitely, you know. But the first 20-25 minutes, if we get through that, I feel we'll be all right. It's the first 25 minutes, to me, is the danger minutes for us. You know, they are going to come out, guns blazing, kitchen sink fire, that's everything, you know. If we lose an early goal, it could be a long night, you know. But I'm going to be upbeat for this one. I think we can do it, you know. But it's certainly not over by any manner of means.
I think we're realistic to know that, but you've got to admit we're strong favourites to get through, Kenny.
We were 3-0 up. You know what I mean? It's but it's they get an early goal. My biggest fear, an early goal in the first 5-10 minutes or something, and you get down up about 2 minutes later. The tie flips. You know what I mean? Get by the first 20-25 minutes. I think we'll be all right. You know, but it's a difficult game for them and all. You know, how do you address this game? They've got to come out, throw the kitchen sink at us, right? And leave them still wide open at the back. And that's where Kent and Morelos, I feel, could do a bit of damage with them, you know.
Brian Kent gets space, we mentioned earlier on, mate. He's going to cause, in the big pitches, if they go too advanced, he'll play into the space and he'll hurt them, eh?
I think so. You know what I mean? It's the same. You flip the coin, right? Supposing we were in this position coming to Ibrox, what do you do, right? We've got to come out and throw the kitchen sink in, but at the same time, you're leaving yourself open to the counter-attack at the back. And if you get it right, we can be deadly on the counter-attack, especially in Europe, you know. So I'm optimistic, you know. I've got that 2008 buzz about me since the first tie, you know. You get there, they're brilliant. Who was the last time we reached the quarterfinals? Glasgow Rangers.
2008, mate, was the last time any Scottish team reached the quarterfinals.
Exactly, I know. But as I say, it's the opening minutes I worry about the Rangers, you know, and they will come out. But, you know, it's a difficult how they play the game, you know. Do they come out and just go gung-ho, or they leave themselves wide open? They've got 90 minutes. They've got to score 4 with no reply for us. Surely it's like we can at least get 1 or 2 in that period, you know what I mean?
You would hope so, but you just have to take it. And obviously the clock's no their friend, is it, Kenny?
No, not at all, much, you know what I mean? If you can get this period, always look at that opening period, you know, if you can get by that, you know, in a hostile environment. My son-in-law's he flew over at Elios this morning, incidentally, and they've got to stay in a hotel, apparently. They're not allowed to wander about, you know, so that tells you the hostility over there, you know. But I'm optimistic. I've just, since the Dortmund game, you know, it was unbelievable night. I'm fairly confident, but I'm not going to, you know, just go all overboard. But hopefully we're in at back at 7 or 8, whatever. We're in that quarter-finals, and then it all comes down to who we get and whatever, you know. But I take end. I don't care. I don't fear end in this for the quarter-finals or not. But I'm looking at, you know what I mean?
I'm sure that the excitement's building. I've tried to stop myself dreaming, but if we get to the quarter-finals, Linda, you start looking, who do we get? Where are we going? How do we get to the final? You start thinking of all these things.
Yeah, you do, Ox. You can't help looking ahead and how great it would be. And, you know, the players will not be thinking too far ahead. But, you know, Kent was talking about that in his interview in the presser about how they want to improve every year. They want to try and go further. So they know it's a great opportunity. Who would have thought that, as we said earlier, we'd be sitting here with a 3-0 lead, the away tie to get us through into, you know, the quarter-final of the Europa League. I don't think any of us would have expected that. So it's a massive opportunity, and let's hope that they can do it. As we said, we're all confident without being overconfident. But there might be a few nerves tomorrow night, Ox, and it wouldn't be Rangers if there wasn't, I'm afraid.
I don't know.
Even the local police who are there are telling them to stay in hotels and know about, obviously, the political situation. You know, it was always going to be a naughty trip, you know, but hopefully everybody stays safe, stay together and don't go wandering, you know. It'll not be a usual European trip. Right, okay, right. We've got some intelligent people on the call. You've excluded me and Bridgeman. So we're going to get your thoughts on how it's going to go and what the result's going to be. And I'll start with the most intelligent person on Rangers Radio, Alex Fevershaw. I
think it's going to be 1 each draw.
That'll do, mate. I'll take that. I'll take that, mate. Right, okay.
We'll definitely score. We'll score.
Andy's just, I don't know who's up to there. I don't know who it was.
No, I'm here. No, I'm
Andy.
still here. Aye, 2 each for me. I've got 2 each on my head. I've had it all day.
Right, okay. All right, 2 each. I'd also take that. Linda?
Yeah, I agree with Andy. I'm going for 2 each as well, and I think Ryan Kent will get a goal tomorrow night, Ox. He's done everything but score in the last few games. I fancy Kent and Morelos to get our goals, but 2 each, it sounds a good score to me.
All right, okay. I'd also take that. Right, here's a big drum roll. Bridgeman.
I'm going to go for something different this week. Something totally different this week. It's going to be 1-0 for Rangers.
Brilliant, Bridgeman.
I've just fell off my chair there. I'll be honest with you, I'd take a nothing each, nothing each half time, and the game just petered out. I'd be quite happy with that, if that makes sense, Kenny.
I've taken a nothing each all day long. I've taken a 2-0 defeat, incidentally, I've got the 2 each thing in my head as well, I have to say, like a couple of other guys, I'll go for 2 each. I just think it's a difficult tie for them. They've got to come out gung-ho, throw the trinket and everything else, and they're vulnerable to the counter-attack, and this is what we're really good, so but taking the chances when they come along. Also set pieces, I think we looked at the first leg tie, they weren't great, and there wasn't for that guy in the line with the goals that he did, it was another one, I watched brief highlights of the game for Sunday, which they won 2-1. Again, a couple of times, didn't see much yet, but look, susceptible to set pieces if you get the right delivery on, my opinion.
Nah, there's no mark, and then if you get between them and you know what you're doing with that and you get delivery.
Aye.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of zonal marking, if I'm honest.
No. I still prefer man marking all day long,
Somebody, maybe one or 2 year players can mark the space, but I just don't get old. They're actually marking fresh here. Alex?
I know.
Well, I'm totally against it. I don't see it at all like that, zonal man. I like to be manned up. That's your man, and you guard him. You go with him. But that seems to be the one.
Wouldn't it be the first time Bridges marked fresh here right enough? What do you think at Bridge being an all centre half who attacked the ball? Do you understand the logic? Or?
Oh yes. Zonal marking. It's not a new thing, zonal marking.
No.
Played zonal marking before. They used to play that biggest man at the back, that at front, the smallest defender there, and move back to the biggest defender at the back there, and the goalkeeper doing the business. Look, I'm all for the man marking at corner kicks, and I do like to see a man in the post. So that would be your wingers coming back to go in the post and let the defenders do the man marking. That's what you need to do, in my opinion.
Old Bears just texted me he's going for 2-0 with Rangers, with Red Star begging for the final whistle to go.
Fabulous.
Aye. It's worth a lot of money and a lot of prestige, as we've discussed already. Alex, Kenny?
Well, there's some rewards out there. You get into that quarter final. The money, it's what you call it, mate. Obviously, you've got the next gate at home. Then you get sponsorship. It's amazing. Now, think where this club came from 4 years ago there. And look, we're on the verge of a quarter final in Europe. It's unbelievable. It's magical stuff. We've got to enhance it and embrace it, everybody here. This is fantastic. I've no qualms about tomorrow night, man. We're going to be in the last 8. After that, we'll take who's going to be. You've just put out Dortmund there. And that's no small feat. Nobody really gave us a chance here, to be quite truthful. They were one of the favourites. And we've done them out of the 2 games. So we're up for it, Rangers, and go there.
We should have been a home win and off. It wasn't for that VAR.
That's right, Kenny. 100%, Kenny.
They should have been a win.
Right. Rangers are geared for European football. Any team who comes out and wants to play, we'll give them a game. There's no doubt about it. And we've got the people there. We've got the people causing trouble tomorrow night.
I totally agree with you. Like, you know, that's what we are, the European. You know what I mean? It's not like the anti-football mob we face every single weekend in Scotland. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts. I mean, some of the games, you know, the Aberdeen game the other week, you know, up. You know, it drives me mental. The teams don't want to come out and play, and you're up against 2 banks of 5 half the time and everything else. You know, it's not football in this country anymore. It's anti-football. You know, and that's the way I look at it. But Europe is, I mean, I just love Europe, you know. And I'm optimistic about tomorrow night, you know, but I still think these opening minutes are vital in this game tomorrow night. You know, that's the way I see it, you know. But they're in a good place. If they get through tomorrow night, well, I've already priced the flights to Seville, to Glasgow, £199 the turn's the cheapest we can get right now, but of course I'll bump right up for tomorrow night.
So that. By the way, I've done it, I know. You're right, Kenny, I've done it, I know.
I booked it before.
Was it £199, Alex?
I was a lot better than news. I booked it before the Dortmund first game. That's how good.
All right.
Well done, up.
$9.99.
Anyway.
$9.99.
By the way, check Alex, check out tomorrow night if you get through. That was last week. I checked it, £199 the turn. I guarantee it will jump up another 50 or 100 quid tomorrow night.
Listen, I've just been saying, and I need no, I'll come back to you about it. Bridgman's idea of man marking is not what you think. That's from Mr. S.
You're not getting near me.
Just carry on, Alex.
No, I was just going to say, I hope the supporters over there, the way you call it, look after themselves and not stick together, because I've seen some social stuff there, and it's a bit intimidating over there now.
I'm worried about my son-in-law, Alex.
Oh, well, there you go. I know 2 or 3 that's going out here and all, and I'm just like that. Just look after yourselves all together and support, and let's get the flights and get back home. Everybody keeps safe.
I don't think it was a night. I think it was a game for flying in and flying out. It wasn't an overnight stay, Alex, if I'm being honest.
100% right. 100% right. But I've seen somebody call it some boys earlier in the Ox there, you know. Mm-hmm. And you're hoping everything goes all right for these laddies. And let's get in, do the business and get back home and get into this quarter final.
You're here. Some of them are flying back to Dundee, I think. Straight to Dundee. You know. Right, so over the piece we're pretty confident. Kenny, well, asked for most people what their team was going to be. What's your lineup tomorrow night?
Well, I was listening to you talk about earlier on. I would more or less go with the same team as last week, Woodshop didn't play on Sunday, so he'll be pretty refreshed. Bring Balogun back in again for Orlando. I would go with the same team. You know, I mean, I wasn't a big me. He served me, especially last year, going to Woodshop. But I changed a wee bit with the guy, you know, and no, I would go with more or less the same team as last week. That boy, the Ramsey, looked pretty good on Sunday, and the other boy as well, was he called the American chap, I thought was actually excellent. I gave him man in the match. So I've definitely get choices on the bench, you know. But I would go with the same team, man. I think if all available and fit, you know. But I must admit, I get a bit of a heart attack on Sunday when I seen Kent limping about, you know.
Aye.
But it turns out it was just a dead leg, you know. Well, we've all played football, we're not a dead leg. It can last a few days, you know. And he was on the press for this morning, so he looks fine, you know.
Aye. He's important to his Kent. He just needs to bring a few more goals to his game, eh?
But he's due a goal, Alex. I mean, he's played deserves a goal, you know. It could come tomorrow night, hopefully, you know. Ryan Kent has actually been outstanding over the last few weeks. You know, watching that boy play, he's just brilliant to watch. The goal will come from him, you know. He's knocking on the door with it, you know, and I hope it's tomorrow night.
Yeah. Aye, tomorrow night. Can it come quick enough? Got to remember, everybody, it's a 5:45 kick-off, is that right? Is it 5:55?
Yep, 5:45 bucks.
5:45, jeez. Right, okay, so what we've done by half 6, 7:15, done by 7:30, 8:15, hopefully in the extra time. Bang, show normal time. Right, okay.
By the way, see if we get beat 3-1, 2-0 and 4-2 in one night, I'll still be swinging for the chandeliers.
Oh, I mean, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's a tie.
You know, we're in the quarterfinals of a major European tournament.
Right. You know, a tie. It's a tie, Kenny. It's not a game, Bridgeman.
I know. That's it. You know, I mean, any day, any sort of you come down if you get beat, Craig, if you could be 2 goals, doesn't matter if it's 5-3, whatever. You're through. You know what I mean? You're through the next round, and then
it's a second leg. You know.
That's it.
If you were many moons ago, we used to love going away and getting the second leg at home. And this time I'm delightfully surprised we go there with a 3-0 lead. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So Rangers need to carry themselves high, heads up, and go out there and just go out there and do it, Rangers. Just go and do it. Oh, I'm so happy. One more sleep. So happy.
If you get the quarterfinals, I mean, you look at who's left in it. I mean, Barcelona's not the same team they're there, right? Leicester, you know what I mean? I fancy our chances against any of them over 2 legs. I mean, I'm not just saying that for blue tinted glasses, but I really would. I don't think there's anything to fear. If you get in that last 8, I mean, anything can happen. We've seen it before.
Yeah. Well, put it
it's got all the hallmarks. I mean, 150th anniversary. You know, the stars are in alignment for us. You know, they played them back in the early 90s. They beat us, right. They went all the way to the Champions League, the European Cup final, and won it. We played them in 2007, wasn't it? We went all the way. So it's got to happen at this time. Everyone who wins it gets to a European final. Recent history, you know what I mean?
50 years since the Barcelona Bears, you know.
Aye, I mean, it's, you know, I'm not trying to turn into Galinda here, you know, but you know, you begin to drift a wee bit, you know.
Well, hopefully we can start dreaming after tomorrow night, Linda.
Oh, aye, definitely, Oxford.
But your name is Kenny.
No, I agree with Kenny. I mean, if you get through this round, then anything can happen in terms of the teams that are left. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but you can't help it. You know, we're in a great position, and you just don't know what would happen. And there's plenty of omens, as we said, the 150th anniversary, the anniversary, obviously, our European Cup Winners' Cup win as well. So it's all there for these players to go out and create a bit of history as well, isn't it, Ox? You know, they've done us proud so far, whatever happens. But it would just be wonderful if we could get through the next stage.
Aye. Well, gentlemen and ladies, we've reached that time of the evening. I don't know where the times went. Alex, who was your?
What another fantastic show. Thanks very much, Ox, there. Linda, Bridgeman, Kenny and Andy. And let us go and get the business done. At 8:15 tomorrow night, mark my words, we'll be in the last 8.
I hope so, mate. And if I know,
hope so, mate.
I'm blaming you personally.
That's okay. I'll take that one, Ox, there.
That's a heavy weight to have on your shoulders, Alex.
I'll be back on Ox there right away. I'll take it, man. I'm telling you, Ox there. Get the passport looked out, mate.
I hope you're right, mate. Right. Kenny, give us a shout out, mate.
Aye. Just echo Alex says, you know, even a 2-goal defeat tomorrow, I'll be swinging for my chandeliers in here, you know. And, you know, I'm up to
I've just got a light like everybody else. He's got chandeliers, Linda.
No, I've got a chandelier.
Well done, Kenny.
I'm posh, you know what I mean? I'll be right. And I'm optimistic, you know, and I'll hopefully, you know, touch wood, they get through, you know. But don't take it for granted. But no, we're in for a tough time over there tomorrow night, you know. Anyway, listen, thanks for having me on, Ox. Bridgeman, lovely talk to you again, Linda, Alec, all the rest of you guys, and I wish you all good night. Okay?
Cheers, Kenny. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, Kenny.
Good night.
Andy's still sitting there.
I'm still here.
Right,
I only speak when I'm spoken
You've
to.
got so many numbers, mate. We don't know what one's yours, right? Okay.
No, listen, absolutely great to be on the show. Thanks for having us in again. Love it with them. And 8 till 10 every night of the week. That does me. And hope everyone stays safe and we get what we're looking for tomorrow night.
Right, okay. So over to you, Linda.
Great show tonight, Ox. Lots of good chat, and it was good being on with your good self and Bridge. Enjoyed it. Just say to Rangers, get us through tomorrow night. It would be good if it was a nice, comfortable night and we can all watch the game not from behind the sofa, but just get us through.
Yeah. Over to you, Bridgeman.
What can I say, Ox? Fabulous night. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great patter and tremendous comments for everybody. And a big thank you to Linda for being my sort of associated partner tonight.
Associated partner. Oh.
Well, she keeps it called, so I can't say too much of that. So can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans are here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please, one sleep for the Bridgeman, one sleep. Everybody, there's a big game. Biggest game of our season coming up tomorrow. And then beat them, Rangers. And then beat them. Go. Keep it going for the Rangers.
I think so. An associated partner gets half of the estate legal, Linda, so you're all right. Can I thank all the callers? Tommy for Bogner, of course, there was Kenny, Alex for Wishaw, Andy for Leeds, one of the stars of Rangers Radio. Who else? We couldn't get Peter for Fife in. Don't missed anybody ever. Hope no, right? And of course, Linda and Bridgeman, Big Al for Australia, and everybody for listening. We're nervous. We'll be back after the match tomorrow night. People need to get their tea before the game. Thanks for listening. Please, any bears out there, please stay safe. We're thinking about you and look after yourself. And let's be back tomorrow night celebrating a famous Rangers victory. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though times they have been hard, we've followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park. Every Saturday we follow to cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. Who Scotland's gallant few, who times they have been hard, who follow near and far. You will always hear us